you're on top, it's easy to get complacent, and Fight Night has been on top for a very long time. But Fight Night Champion doesn't do any laurel resting this year. No sir, it brings some tweaks to controls, improved facial damage, and an inspiring story mode. Even though it fails to connect on all its punches, Fight Night Champion comes out swinging.
Oh, and there you go!
Fight Night Champion shows the brutal price boxers pay for stepping into the ring. You can practically see the imprint of the glove on someone's face when you tag them. You can tell the severity of a cut on the cheek just by looking. There are scrapes, and then there are gashes. And once the blood starts flowing, you'll know it. It's all over the ring, in Roberto Duran's trunks. This is the real win for Fight Night Champion. A lot of the other elements, ring entrances, the overdone commentary from Joe Tessitore and Teddy Atlas, are nothing special. The blood, the damage, that's maybe as good as it will ever get. Those damaged faces add a bit of humanity to what has long been a bit of a soulless series. It's the perfect time to add that bit of personal touch, because it plays out well in the big new addition to Fight Night: a story. Champion Mode has you living out the rise and fall and rebirth of fictional boxer Andre Bishop. Just about every boxing movie cliche is thrown in, and yet the story is incredibly compelling. Fights suddenly have meaning. Whether it's kicking the ass of a white supremacist in prison, earning a gold medal at the Amateur World Championships, or stepping into the ring for your first professional fight. This level of high-quality presentation plays in stark contrast to some of the less inspired areas, like the downright boring career mode. Despite some new flashes of inspiration, much of Fight Night Champion is the same old game with a new coat of paint. Someone had the good idea to add a story, then forgot to improve the other modes.
He goes up top and gets to him.
If you played past Fight Nights, be prepared for some changes. Gone is the old punching system that required complex analog stick moves. Now, every punch in the game is achieved by flicking the stick quickly in a direction. No more blisters on those fingers. Also gone is the silly idea of haymakers. Instead, you get a punch modifier that can add a little zing to any punch at the cost of losing more stamina. It helps makes it feel a bit more like real boxing, a little less like a silly game. Blocking is somewhat automated. Instead of having to position your gloves, your fighter will always try to meet an incoming fist as long as the block button is held down. It's more about how boxers are positioned, less about your timing. And you're going to need that help on defense. There's no doubt that on the default difficulty, anyone can go in and swing wild and have some success. If you want Fight Night to be a brawler, you can. But even then, taking heavy shots will really cost you quickly. It's tough to survive without playing some defense. The AI is smart. In fact, smart enough that boxers feel like individuals when you face them. Ali and Tyson don't fight the same way. Ali plays with you, Tyson tries to destroy you. Fighters react well to situations. If you're in the 7th round, and a fighter knows they're losing on points, they might become more aggressive. If cut, they are often overly protective of that side of the face. Sometimes fighters make dumb moves. Maybe that's because some fighters are just plain stupid. Maybe the AI just isn't always up to snuff. Whatever the case, you can see who wins out in the end.
He is damaged badly. Big shot he just scored with. Did you see that? I don't know that Miguel Cotto is going to be able to continue. That is a real question for him to answer as he's down again.
Fight Night Champion gets the boxing right and adds a flawed but enjoyable story mode. I've always put a lot of stock in career modes, and Legacy mode here is just downright bad. The minigames are tough and get boring fast. The entire concept just seems off base. What should greatly extend Fight Night Champion's playtime made me like the game a lot less. Avoid the career mode, enjoy the story mode, and spend a few hours creating some dream boxing matches. That will make any boxing fan happy.